Well, it was our moral responsibility to support the struggle for independence of these people, although we had big forces against such move. But luckily, it seems that it is towards its independence, then respecting the wish of the people, we do adhere what will be their decision.
Does this mean
We're
then...
not intending to force at all.
But does this mean that you are dropping the hope of a totally united Somalia, that for instance, Djibouti will...
Well, even this must come through the wish of the people. We should believe the people to decide their destiny. We are against any forcing of people's wish and to decide their destiny, to decide their future. They are better competent to see what is convenient for them and what's not convenient for them.
Would it then be wrong to assume that Somalia would not oppose a possible later move by the majority of the population in Djibouti to perhaps have a referendum whether to join or not to join Somalia?
Well, frankly, I remain my point to say that we do respect the people's decision, people's desire for their destiny. We remain this. It depends how they want.
No, but if you choose so yourself, then you can become a part of Somalia. And will you have a referendum sometime to join?
No. We didn't think about it. Yes, but I think that as a federation and all the region, Ethiopia, including Somalia and Eritrea, if there is a project like this, I think we will be a member of this big federation.
In interviews I've made with leaders of the Empire Party in Djibouti, it has been made clear that they want to retain a certain French military presence also after independence. Does Somalia support a continued French military presence in Djibouti?
We don't think that there is any French interest in keeping military there, and we told them very frankly that today the technology does not need to make military base. We do advise and we insist that French has decided to leave the country and give the people to their independence after long colonization, to give the money to the country which they are living rather than to maintain a huge military base there, which will not fruit any good. We really oppose this. We do oppose any other kind of military base, particularly in these developing countries who need peace.
After independence of Djibouti, so do you see any threats that unrest and even violence or guerrilla warfare might erupt in the territory?
Attempts may be made by Ethiopians or elements organized by them, but I don't think that they will have any success in doing so. So I think it's convenient for Ethiopians or other countries to leave these people to run their affairs by their own selves and not to force it. Otherwise, many forces will be involved. Therefore, no one will go smoothly out of it.
Do you then see the Ethiopian attitude to independence of Djibouti and the necessity for Ethiopia to retain this outlet to the sea as a threat to the future independence of Djibouti?
I don't think there is any threat. There is threat in their mind only. The suspicions, their character of suspicion and lack of trust in themselves too. Not only to other people, but to themselves too. And this is the characteristic of Ethiopians. But there is no threat at all to Ethiopian interest, which is economical interest, as we know. We have always advised these political leaders of the country to not be less generous than the colonial power to Ethiopia. We have always said. Unfortunately, they never believe because they are bad in their heart, but we are not so bad in our heart. Even if these people choose to come and join Somalia, they will not be any threat. If they are alone, we will support the idea of giving all necessary facilities to Ethiopia, as far as they do so as a friendly country, not as arrogance and pressure.
Both Somalia and Ethiopia have socialist governments now. Why then not drop the ambition of a united Somalia and instead establish some sort of a federation between the two countries and perhaps also include Djibouti?
I don't think that we are a socialist country, or we don't think that Ethiopians are socialists. We believe that they are chauvinists. Why they don't give the people to their self-determinations? Why they do kill and continue to kill and force and oppress? Why, if they are socialists? The socialist principle is humanitarian based, and humanitarian never desire to oppress other human beings. They seemingly they can't. So how can we believe that they are socialists? They can be a flag of socialism, but with mentality and thinking of colonizing. It's a contradictions. They may be heading a kind of socialism, which they may become tomorrow, but today they are not socialists. Therefore, there is no agreement between us and colonizers.
A part of the Red Sea coastline is called Eritrea. Do you support the struggle of the liberation fronts in Eritrea for independence?
Well, I told you, we always support those who are struggling for their freedom. We are against anybody or any state who oppress people and refuse their freedom. Whatever it costs, we always support that principle, and we believe it's right.
And this goes for Eritrea as well?
Certainly. Well, I don't agree at all with such a policy, and I don't think it's a correct policy. I support and I believe that the Red Sea should remain a free sea and out of any kind of tension or trouble, which is convenient for all. It's the interest of those countries who are surrounding Red Sea. It is interest of the European countries to whom their supplies pass through. The Red Sea must be avoided, any kind of avoiding this and allowing that. That is only to provocate troubles.
The Russians have become more and more involved in the colonizing Ethiopia. Somalia has for a number of years had close relations with the Soviet Union. Do you have any feeling of betrayal, that you've been betrayed by your Russian allies?
No. We think that they are only doing their responsibility, their international responsibility. The support of the Soviet Union, of the Ethiopian present regime, it is the right of the Soviet Union to do so. So we don't condemn at all. It may be their actions against our interests, but doesn't matter.